Oral mucosa has two separate tissue types covering epithelium and underlying connective tissue. Functions of oral mucosa are protection, sensation, and secretion. Protection, as they separates the deeper oral tissues and the organs from the outer environment and withstand the mechanical masticatory forces and surface separation from the ingested materials. Sensation because of the receptors which responds to the temperature, touch and pain. Secretion in the form of saliva which lubricates the mucosa and aids in swallowing. Others are enzymes for digestion, buffering acids from bacteria and food. Histology of oral mucosa. Oral epithelium is composed of stratified squamous epithelium composed of keratinocytes. Cells are tightly attached in distinct layers: stratum corneum, stratum granulosum, stratum spinosum, which consist of prickle cell layer, and it has desmosomes also, and stratum basale. The desmosomes, they don't shrink, whereas the cells shrink. Masticatory mucosa consists of keratinized tissue and lining mucosa composed of non-keratinized tissue. Keratinized tissue are inflexible, tough, resistant, and tightly bound to the underlying tissues, whereas the non-keratinized tissues are not as tough as keratinized. They are looser tissue and gives flexibility to the oral cavity. Keratinized tissues have fibrillar material in the superficial layer, and in the non-keratinized layer it has organelles. Less number of organelles, but they are present. Plus nuclei is also present. There are two types of keratinization: orthokeratinized and parakeratinized. Orthokeratinized tissue is present in gingiva. It has no nuclei, whereas parakeratinized, it has some nuclei, but it is visible only in pathology under the slides. And the non-keratinized tissue, they are present in the floor of the mouth, soft palate, and buccal mucosa. There are three types of non-keratinocytes: melanocytes, Langerhans cells, and Merkel cells. Melanocytes are melanin producing cells. They come from the neural crest ectoderm and then they migrate to the epithelial surface with the basal cells at the 11 weeks of gestation. Then Langerhans cells are immune dendritic cells lacking desmosomes. These are found in suprabasal layer, migrate from the bone marrow, and they can move in and out of the epithelium. Then they are antigen processing cells for the T lymphocytes, and they produce interleukin 1 to activate the T cells and increase the MSH receptors on the melanocytes. Then Merkel cells are sensory cells. They respond to touch, found in the basal layer, non-dendritic. They may have desmosomes and they may arise from the keratinocytes. Epithelium connective tissue interface. The connective tissue papilla plus epithelial rete ridges, they increase the surface area for better and stronger attachment. They distribute tensile and shear forces distribution. Hemidesmosomes attach the basal cells to the basement membrane. It has two layers, lamina lucida and lamina densa. Lamina lucida contains integrins and plus laminin. They are connected to the basal cell, and lamina densa contains collagen type 4 and type 7, which are connected to connective tissue. Lamina propria or connective tissue contains fibroblasts, which are found throughout. They secrete the collagen and ground substance, and they're contractile in nature, participate in wound contraction. There are three types of mucosa based on the function: lining mucosa, masticatory mucosa, and specialized mucosa. Lining mucosa, they have no function in mastication, they are soft, non-keratinized, and when incised, there are gaps, so the sutures are needed to close them. They are present in floor of the mouth, ventral tongue, buccal mucosa, soft palate, alveolar mucosa, and labial mucosa. Masticatory mucosa, they are keratinized. There is less vascularity. There is no gapping when they are incised, so no need to give sutures. They appear white with heavy keratinization, and the location is gingiva and hard palate. Specialized mucosa is present in lips and dorsal tongue. In lips, specialized mucosa is present on the vermilion border and the labial mucosa. Labial mucosa also has non-keratinized tissue. Dorsal tongue has specialized mucosa because of the taste buds. They also have keratinized tissue.